Before we go live, I thought, in remembrance of Deion Sanders and the uh, Colorado team winning, I thought I'd throw on my sunnies or what we call shades per se, and you know, let you know what it is and make sure that you understand. Hey, I support what you're doing, Deion. I love how you're moving forward, but now we done got that out the way. Let's get to business. Business. Hey, family, listen. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm going to say some things today that's going to make you feel a little bit uneasy, maybe a little uncomfortable. But if you stay with me long enough to feel uncomfortable, the greatness and the truth is going to lie on the side of being uncomfortable. What do you mean, ED? Well, if you're new to the channel, I have a 7-point framework. Within the 7-point framework, basically we just go through 7 points and provide or actually deliver value to you as you're thinking about navigating into this thing that I love, that eventually, that hopefully you'll fall in love with, called project management. Today's episode is entitled, What Project Management Is Not. I know you think my grandma on my cousin's side wrote that. You think, yeah, she probably did, but it's so true. What project management is not. Sometimes, family, everyone wants to tell you what you're doing as far as your career or your profession is saying, this is what project management is. I believe this is what it is. Well, family, we're going to address that today, and I hope that you can leverage this video today to really explain or watch this, expound upon what project management is not. Let me get to work. If you don't know by the name, I go by the name of ED. For all you smart and intelligent people out there, that just simply means Ed. First point. Listen, project management is not a one size fit all, okay? Listen, you have different methodologies, you have different frameworks. Okay, well, let me unpack each one of these. So methodologies, you have a waterfall framework, agile or scrum. It's basically, see, what an exceptional project manager has is they have a toolkit. See, have you ever watched a plumber or let's lever a plumber. A plumber has a toolkit. A toolkit, or a construction worker, a toolkit. A toolkit means you have various items within this box that you can pull from. And that's what it is as far as a project manager, is that they have within their toolkit that they can pull from different items within that toolkit that applies to the certain situation. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, Edie, what do you mean by that, the toolkit and I can pull from and all this, blah, blah. Hey, listen, family, I get you. I know you guys are out there very, very smart out there. But what I'm saying to you, family, is that when you develop a toolkit, it allows you to have leverage. It allows you to be adaptable. It allows you to be able to adjust on the fly if necessary, but as you know, as waterfall is predictive to stay the course. And there's nothing wrong with staying the course if it makes sense. But we always know what Einstein told us if he didn't. Let me unpack that for you. Einstein told us, he said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating, but doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. So if that's the case, then why will we not develop us a toolkit? One thing I love about my toolkit is giving me the opportunity to experience with different things like AI. For instance, like I've heard one of my mentor and my friend, Phil, I hope you're checking me out, but when he showed me some things that you could do with AI, I was just blown away with, as far as from a project management standpoint, being able to build a schedule, build a WBS. I was like, wow. I was like, that's what I had to make a video and say, is project management dying? Because the easeability, but yet, even though it was able to produce a project schedule, I still had to tweak it. I still had to put it in context that was reflective of where the project currently is and where it's potentially going. And you can't just sit there and do that alone, because it's important that you have a team around you. And that takes me to my next point, which is project management is not a solo endeavor. Hey, listen, I know you got it all. I know you understand it all and you probably can do it all by yourself. But even Michael Jordan told us, even though he said something that was very intelligent, I love it. They told him, he said, Michael Jordan, there's no I in team. He said, well, that's cool, but there is an I in win. I love that. I love that mentality of Jordan. But what he was really saying is what they were saying to him, that it's going to take a team. See, when Michael Jordan got a team around him, he was able to go to the next level. And you got to talk. He's one of the greatest to ever lace them up, in my opinion. I know it's subjective. You can just pick and choose on your own. But what I'm really truly saying to you is that it takes a team to make this happen. Sometimes we can get so caught up in the talents of your project manager that we'll put all of that on that individual, and then you're surprised or you're shocked or you're flabbergasted. You choose the adjective to describe what we're going here, is that, well, why are they struggling, or why are they not sending out particular meeting minutes, or why are they not doing certain aspects of project management that we're used to of them delivering? See, listen, project management is really based on one of my two favorite things, is teamwork and collaboration. And what this book is about, what I had to come down here and grab for you, family, is communication with stakeholders. Listen, again, pick this book up if you haven't yet. It is, I might drop the link in there. It depends. Just ping me and see. And I want to see the series. This is for serious people that are making a transition from their current career or are a project manager. Because I'm speaking about the mindset. I'm speaking about just becoming better, 1% better. This is not the end all be all, but it's the starter kit. It's the one that's going to help you get to the next level if you choose to implement. Hey, I don't want to promise or make any guarantees because, again, I don't want you guys to come after me. So I'll just say that I truly believe this is the next thing up. And I want to thank Phil for pushing me to not sit back and wait. Well, let me do it this way. No, he said, let's go now. I said, let's go. Anyway, I digress. But the point I'm trying to make, family, is that these key words, teamwork, collaboration, and effective communication, is really what's going to drive the actual project. Let's move on to point number 3. Hey, listen, it's not about the Gantt charts. No, that's really what my point is. It's really not about the Gantt chart. Gantt chart came from who? Henry Gantt. See, a Gantt chart is really what your tasks and milestones and things of that. Basically, is your timelines, is where we're going. But see, while these tools are truly valuable, they really do not encapsulate the full scope of project management. Because in project management, you'll be shocked. See, this is what always tickles me. I mean, you might as well call me Tickle Me Elmore, the way I'm laughing right now inside. You just can't see it. But what I'm saying is, family, is that these tools are exactly what they are. They're tools. Just remember when we talked about 2 points earlier, we were talking about the toolbox. See, the toolbox, same thing here. This is just a tool to eventually help you lead, not manage, lead your project more effectively. Point number 4, project management is not just only for large projects. Listen, I use project management in my day-to-day life. You want an example? Here's one. Okay, I put together a checklist of all the things that I know I need to do, or basically that I need to do, and that right there is project management. Why is that project management, ED? Great question. I know I got a smart audience out there. Thank you, family. What reason why is a smart, reason why it's so smart, reason why project management that you can leverage in your day-to-day is because of the fact that within project management, there are tasks that are due. So for instance, you say, okay, I got these 5 things, I'm five items. I'm going to actually do 2 today. I'm gonna pick up another 2 tomorrow. And then on the following day, I'll knock out the last one. If that's not project management, I don't know what is. And if anyone would like to challenge me on that, please do. I'll accept all debates when it comes to that, because I think we complicate. No. I know we complicate things. See, we complicate them because we don't want anybody in. And I get it. I love this thing we call project management more than the next person, if not even more. I'm so obsessed with it. Sometimes I have to kind of walk away or push away from it because I love it. Listen, I'm part of I call it a mastermind, but Phil put together this amazing program where every Saturday we meet. It's only supposed to be an hour, but we go 2, 3, 4 hours sometimes because I'm in a group with like-minded people. I'm in a group of people that actually get it, that are actually hungry about disrupting this thing that we love called project management, making it better. And when I say disrupted, I'm not talking about being disruptive in a negative way. I'm saying disrupted in a healthy way. We want to add value to project management. We want to change people's thinking of, oh, well, I can't get into project management because I'm a teacher. I can't get in project management because, I used to, be this, or I used to work in this profession. No, project management is really a beautiful craft. Okay, let's move on to point number 5. I'm having too much fun with this. Not fixed and inflexible. Listen, I've been on a lot of projects. I've led a lot of projects, I should say, and also been part of projects just as not as a project manager, but just more of a stakeholder. And I've noticed that we get caught up in the dogma of waterfall, which is a great methodology to leverage when you're leading a project. But what happens if that methodology is not working for you? Are you going to adapt, or are you going to continue doing the same thing? And we addressed that already, what Einstein said. So this is what ED says. ED says, listen, there's nothing wrong with putting a plan together, because we know the quote, if you plan to fail, then you fail to plan. Amazing. I totally agree. But what happens if your plan is not working? Do you have the courage to actually make an adjustment and adapt? Listen, I was with that team I was telling you about, the mastermind team, and we came up with a framework about courage. And I would like to really unpack that, and if you don't mind, just share that with you if you're okay with that. So courage, we looked at it like this: communication. That's the C. Because if you can't effectively communicate to what you need and maybe what you want, then how can you expect that people are going to want to align with you, that they're going to want to trust your leadership? Oh, openness. See, one thing about an effective leader is their ability to have an openness mind. Say, all right, tell me everything that you believe, that you think, or I should, and then it's up to that leader to decipher the information and say, okay, I'll take a piece of that. That makes sense. I'll take a piece of that over here from another resource. Take a piece of, and then we'll move over. Then we'll move on from there. You understand. Listen, family. If you don't have the ability to comprehend and understand what is actually going on around you, it's going to be a long ride. You know, as my cousin on my uncle's side would say, you might as well put on your seatbelt, because this is going to be a bumpy ride, baby. You Oh, I already used you. Excuse me. R, relationship. Listen, project management is built on relationship. The ability to, because in most organizations that I've worked in, you don't have the stakeholders that you're working with reporting to you. Matter of fact, I love it that way, because you can keep a very unbiased or less favoritist type approach. So if you got someone on your team that's effective and they're equipping the rest of the team, you want to work with them. But on the other side of project management that is rarely discussed, and that is the ability for your team to, I mean, your stakeholders to really trust you, to come to you and share some confident information with you that may be about somebody else on the team. And I don't know about you. I remember one time I was leading a project, and there were two people that came to me. One person was giving their feedback like, oh, I just don't like working with this person, such and such. The other person say, oh, I don't like working with this person. Now you're like, this is going to be interesting. How do we get to the root of what's going on? So what I did is that I first had a conversation. Like I said, I talked with them, and I asked, why don't you like working with this other person? Well, they don't never answer my emails or respond to me in my chats, but when they send me something, I'm right on it. I said, that's a good point. Let me go do some more digging, if you don't mind. So I go and talk to the other person. I said, so when you're working with this other stakeholder, what is your responsive time? It was like, well, they're very fast when they respond to me, but I just get so caught up in, because I have to focus on the technical aspect, and I can't, I don't want to make a mistake here. So when they're pinging me, sometimes I'm in the middle of something. So instead of putting myself in maybe do not disturb or busy, and I show myself as available, I just get a fluctuation of emails or instant messages, and instead of me changing, what the actual color, as far as going from green to red to yellow or whatever in my status, I just leave it in a green. And I said, I know what it is. Because, a lot of times people like to do a lot of surface problem solving, but we're going to get to the root. So the root is that the other stakeholder thought that the other resource was available all the time because they were in a green status, when they were really focused on a task that they couldn't deviate from. That's why I love what Dan Kennedy talked about in his book, The Renegade Millionaire, because of the fact that a lot of people will disrupt you. You know, right now I'm filming this video. Somebody could call me and say, hey man, I want to talk. And I'm like, I'm filming a video and I'm live. So unless you want to go live, then I won't be able to take that call. But we have that FOMO, fear of missing out. And so because we have that fear of missing out, we'll pick up the call instead of finishing the task. And then I'll give you another resource. Gary Keller, The One Thing. That's a excellent book to read, because we have the belief, or we have the thinking that we can multitask different things. And the way Gary Keller unpacked that book, unpacked that thinking, oh man, I don't even want to share with you because it's that good, and I'll start getting excited and then I'll start talking about other books. So I'll digress. Let's move on to the A of courage, adaptable. Listen, family, as a project manager, you have to be adaptable. Listen, my favorite scheduling tool is, one of my favorite scheduling tools is Microsoft Project. But with Microsoft Project, there's some barriers to entry, meaning that compared to other scheduling tools, there's certain functionalities that doesn't make sense for you to leverage a Microsoft Project, because it may make sense to just to leverage Excel or leverage a smart sheet or leverage other scheduling tools. But so as a project manager, to be exceptional, again, subjective in my opinion, you have to have the ability to be adaptable. Let's move on to the G, generosity. Listen, we know the slogan. It's more blessed to give than to what? Okay, to receive. And see, one of the things of being generous is being generous with your time, but not too generous where you lose focus, but being generous. And like I told you in the example about the R in the relationship, of having the ability to talk with people. It's like sometimes I even said that as a project manager, we wear different hats that people are truly unaware of. We are CIA type, we have the CIA type thinking. Is what I mean by that is that we have the whole secrets of what other people are saying, because it may become, they're coming to you and they have an expectation that what they say between you and them stays between you and them. And we have some project managers out here that don't understand that value. Now there's a difference where it comes to a point where maybe you have to say something because of the impact or effect, but you have to build a strong relationship with your stakeholders, because you never know if this stakeholder is going to be on another project with you, and then you sat there and went and gossip, or as they say, the tea with someone else. That's not cool. Okay, last and final one, encourage, evolve, or empathy. We really went hard on that one. Listen, let me say something, family. As a leader, and I'm not talking about the manager, all the managers out there, but leaders, this is to you. Having the ability to inspire and encourage is tremendous, because you never know what someone is going through. You never know what could happen if you add on more to what they're going through. And I'm not saying to not be truthful and not be upfront, because I definitely stand on that. However, it's also the ability to encourage. Hey man, I know you got this. I believe in you. I've watched you do other things. It's talking that talk, walking that walk, and making them feel comfortable. See, what a leader does, they lead by example. And leading by example is when you have a problem, when you have a situation that is out of control, how calm can you keep while the water is under you? You know, one of the good examples that I love is, you know, they talked about a swan. And as you look at a swan, it's just moving through the water so gracefully. You like, ooh, wow, that's a beautiful. But what scientists said, if you look under the water, they are paddling like their life depended on it. But the way that they're moving looks so calm that you like, man, that is truly amazing. So family, I'm not telling you to be a swan, but what I'm telling you to be is to, under pressure, let's stay calm. Keep that mindset. Keep that beginner mindset. Okay, I unpacked that courage framework for you. So let's get back to point number 6. Point number 6: project management is just not for IT. I don't know who told you that. They're misleading you. But while project management is often associated with IT project management, but project management is so versatile. Like, I've given you examples, but here's some for career-wise: healthcare, construction, AI. I mean, It's so many industries out there, finance, that use, or I should say leverage project management. So don't get caught up like, oh, I'm not technical, I couldn't get into project management. Well, you don't know that. Well, I do, ED. This career is just not for me. Well, how? Explain to me. Because see, when you start asking these probing questions, you'll be shocked at people's answer. And all I'm saying is that don't get caught up with everyone else is saying about project management is only for IT. That is not true. I'm proving this here to you now that you can work in different industries and have an amazing, successful career. Point number 7. Listen, this was tough. I have to be honest. Let me tell you why it was tough for me to put this together. Is because I used to think that project management was all about solving problems. It's more to it than that. And when I understood that, I was like, ooh, I'm onto something. Because a lot of times we just run from problem to problem to problem, or okay, you don't like that. Okay, let me see if you like this. We put out fire after fire after fire after fire. Okay, that doesn't work. We prioritize, reprioritize. So you get where I'm going with this. Listen, family, the whole point of a project is having a system. One of the things, I'm actually checking out this book called The E-Myth by Michael Gerber, and he talks about systems and processes. And I'm working on getting better with my systems and processes, because when you have systems and processes in place, it frees up more time for you to be able to step outside the project and then look inside. Ooh, I like that. Let me tell you why I like that. Because that way you can have a quick check-in on your stakeholders. You can have a quick check-in on your project schedule. You have a quick check-in on your project management plan. And all of these are very important and are required to be an exceptional project manager. Listen, family, I hope you enjoy today's live. Listen, this is practice. Yes, AI, this is practice. We're getting practice in, but pretty soon I'm gonna be at a point where, family, we're gonna be going live so much, you're gonna say, oh, I can't wait. I'm challenging, I'm having the courage so I can pour into someone else so they can have the courage, because we need more people out here putting out project management content, program management content, things around agile, scrum. So family, I hope you enjoy. This has been your boy D, and you know what I'm about to say. I'm out.